Well, of course, Jocelyn, there have been intriguing revelations ever since Parliament last week chose to go against the tide by ignoring the wishes and demands of the people in the electoral reform proposals by adopting only the proposals of the government. This meant that the Constitution has been sacrificed. But all this was done on the context that some of the MPs picked 10 million shillings to sacrifice the Constitution. But what are going to be the implication of this act?
The majority of people could talk about change this or change that. I know most of them what they say when they are among their friends. They say, for us, we are not going to leave money on the table. We are going to take it because we know there is nothing we can do to change Uganda. So people are all in all this and all that, in all this, looking for money to address their personal problems. So don't talk about loyal Ugandans out there. They are not among the politicians of today. And that's why my position is that the politicians of today have to be put on the side and let the communities of Uganda start addressing the issues that concern the people of Uganda. Now, let me start with President Museveni. Recently, he said that he inherited a failed state. He didn't tell us when Uganda became a failed state, and he didn't tell us when Uganda stopped being a failed state. Now, the example I gave you of the insanity of making sure that you get 500 people in a room of 800, the insanity in prisons, the insanity everywhere in our political and governmental lives, shows that we're still a failed state. And let me tell you something. You can talk about changing laws and all that. Will President Museveni leave office? I think his position is clear. He gave it in the 2006 election petitions. Do you know what President Museveni said? They want me to go, everything they say. Agende. Then the president asks you, I have no place to go. Do you know why he said he has no place to go?
Of course not.
Because he has no life outside of State House, as long as Uganda remains a failed state, where we, innocent people, are not going to die and then start killing each other.
But did you think that that would be leading the country into a people's uprising that can end up into the Tahrir Square, the Egypt situation?
Don't talk about foreign countries. We're talking about
Uganda. Of course, Egyptians were...
No, forget about those countries.
Let
me tell you something.
Who caused almost
in this country, we like comparing things. But if all you can eat is beans and a posho, don't compare yourself to Americans. Because if you had the abilities, you would eat as well as the Americans, and you would talk about beans and posho. As long as you're on beans and posho, don't compare your democracy to what they do in America or anything else. I want us to focus on Uganda. The problems are not foreigners. The problems are fellow Ugandans.
Let me give you a lively example of almost that transpired into a Tahrir Square. The 2009 Kabaka Kayunga visitation. It almost ended up into a Tahrir Square situation when people were almost rising up against the state, and the scores of about 38 dead bodies that were killed by armed government security personnel. Well, it was a people's uprising.
My brother, we have had people's uprisings where the members of the armed forces simply clear the way and say, if the president has messed up, let the president meet the people who have been the victims of his management. So for me, I don't make assumptions about Katumba Wamala, about Kaihura and other members of Kaihura of the police. I don't automatically say they are going to do that and that. They are very intelligent people. They are watching. They are going to make a decision at the right time. One decision they can make is simply to line up the streets and tell the people, you know where the problem starts from. You walk and talk to President Museveni.
The freedom of expression you're talking about, Doctor, is between me and it's the freedom that I and you, who are the elites, have. But look at your grandmother or your sister of your Senga, Nichana Mukaka, who's illiterate, doesn't know her right, but he is the potential voter.
So
he's the one who determines the existence of the regime and the exit of the regime.
My brother, you spoke of my grandmother. In my life,
who may not know their rights.
Politically,
yeah,
I have one father, Uganda. Every other communities, the 15 Acholis and so forth, those are my stepmothers, and Uganda is my mother. Now, when I talk about my grandmothers listening, I'm not talking about grandmothers listening in Uganda. I have all those grandmothers all over Uganda. Yeah. And the moment you are free to communicate, they are free to hear in whatever forum. And incidentally, I've been on TV a number of times, but the radio stations are doing a wonderful job. They speak so many languages, so that the grandmothers and the mothers and the fathers and the uncles out there in the villages are listening to what is going on. And if they were not wise in 1965, if they were not wise yesterday, we are giving them information. Omuganda mutuufu bwagamba tindi mugezi nga mubulire.